Hey everyone, welcome back. In this Python logging tutorial, we are going to continue our logging discussion, and previously we have understood what are the logging levels, what is the default logging level in Python, and how you can implement the simplest or very basic logging in any of the Python program. So now let me remove these lines here. You can anyways refer to these levels on the official Selenium Python website, which is basically this one, so docs.python.org, or you simply Google it and you will get the logging tutorial, the complete how-to, right? We'll be covering most critical aspects of logging, which we'll be needing in our Selenium Python framework to log the messages into the log file, right? So let's continue the discussion. Now we know that the default level is the warning level. How can we change it, right? Or if we want, say for example, I want to log the info, I want to log the debug as well, or I want the detailed statistics. How can I log the logs into a file, right? So all of that we'll understand, right? So we have understood about this simple logging. Now the next important thing is logging to a file, right? So this document explains everything. Okay, so this is what is the official document. That's why I always mention that official documents are the best documents to refer to and learn the details or advanced details very easily, right? So if you just follow this particular document, it's a bit lengthy document, but it will explain everything that you need about the logging, right? But anyways, we are creating a video, so you can just follow the video and make your learning a little bit quicker, right? So now if we talk about logging into the file, how can we configure, or how to configure the logging level? Okay, so if you see here, logging to a file, we have this logging.basic config. We have to configure the logging. After importing, we have to configure the logging, and we can specify file name, we can specify the logging level, etc. right? So let's go ahead and do it. And here in this particular program, what I need to do is I simply need to say logging dot basic config, and say for example the first thing I want to change is level, right? So I want to log the whole thing, right? So debug is the first one. Let me go to the documentation. So debug is the first level, right? So debug info and then upwards, right? So this is a little bit, I'll change it and move it here. All right, so debug info warning error critical, right? So that's the hierarchy basically. Okay, so now if I want to log debug and everything above, then I will simply say level is logging and then say logging dot debug, right? Comma separated, I want to log it into the file, so I'll simply say file name, right? And they specify the name of the file, so I will simply say what is the name of the file. I'll say demo logs.log, right? And if I want to specify, so if you just hover over this particular method, right, you will see all the arguments that you can provide here. So you can provide file name, you can provide file mode, right? What is file mode? The file mode is whether you want to write or overwrite, append, all of that, right? Then date format, level, stream, so all of that we'll cover in this particular tutorial, right? So we have included file name, we want to write it in the file. Then we have set the level so that everything that is there in the file, the logs get logged. And let's say we want to have the file mode as well. Okay, so I'll say file mode, and if I say the file mode as say W, right? If I just say W, then what will happen is every time you run, the file will be overwritten. Okay, so if I run this now, you will see a new demo logs file got created here, right? Now because this file name, the demo logs file, I have just provided the file name. So wherever your program is, wherever this particular class is, this file is, at the same hierarchy, the new file will get created with the name that you provide here, right? And if I open this particular file now, you will see all of the logs have been logged here. So debug info warning error critical from the first method, and then warning from the second one, which is the multiplication one, right? So now we have been able to change the log level. If I remove this bit from here and run again. So now I haven't changed the log level. So let's see what happens here. Now you can see only warning, error and critical have been logged, right? And both of them have been removed. And we also understood about this file mode. Now file mode W will override this particular log file if you want to append the log. So for example, there are these logs already and I want to append to the file, not delete or overwrite anything there. So what I'll do is I'll change the file mode to append. Just replace W with A and run it, and once the process is finished, open it and you will see the file has been appended with the previous logs already there, right? Now if I change the logging level again and run it and open the file again, right? So this is the first run, that's the second run, and in the third run, because I have changed the logging level to debug, so anything debug and above is getting printed, right? So that's how easy it is to set up the logging into Python, to set up the level that you want, to set up the file or display the logs or move the logs into the file, right? And change the file mode. Okay. Now say for example, within this particular folder, or say for example, at this particular level, I want to create the logs at the project level, but into a different directory. Okay. So I'll simply say for example, I have a directory logs. Okay. And I want to move my logs here. Okay. So what you have to change here is, now because your logging underscore demo 1 is at logging demo location, right? So the first thing is you have to first move up, right? So move up to this project level. Okay. Because if you see you are in this level, so move up here, then at the project level, then at the logs, right? So in order to move up, what you have to do is you have to simply say backslash, right? So dot backslash. So now you are at the level above, and then once you are at the project level, you simply specify the logs folder, and within the logs folder, which file name you want to specify, which file. So for example, I want to create a file with demo logs 1, or just keep it same, right? Because this file will now get created into logs folder. Okay. So if I run this now, you will see that demologs.log has been created into the logs folder, right? If I'll open it, it will have the different information as compared to this particular file, right? So that's how you will configure the path of your file into the folder. And this is important because we'll be using this into our automation framework to move the logs into specific folders, right? So that's pretty much all about this particular tutorial on how to configure the logging level, the file mode, and how to configure the file name, or how to send the logs, Python logs, into a file. All right. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you very much for watching.